Hello everyone, my name is Dini and you're on Crucifix Ministry. Today we're going to discuss about one of the most important beatitude, and that is, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. It's a very beautiful verse, and Jesus gave a wonderful explanation to all his disciples on this particular verse. Many people always have an argument on, we have to strictly follow the Old Testament. We should not ignore the Old Testament. But if we sit quietly and meditate over all the Bible verses on the Bible, we will realize that the New Testament is more difficult to follow than what was mentioned in the Old Testament. So we cannot ignore any. But Jesus has deepened the meaning of each and every commandment. If you just look at the 10 commandments, even after following the 10 commandments, like I'm the Lord your God, you shall have no other God, you shall not kill, you shall not steal, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. In spite of following all this, still we cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. Because for Jesus, the New Testament, it's even more difficult to follow. One point from that is, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Poor means, what is the meaning of poor? You are poor, you are bankrupt. You keep begging for something. A poor person, what does he do? He begs, right? In the same manner, Jesus asks each one of us to totally depend on him, and it is only through Christ that you will have salvation. It is only through Christ that you can enter the kingdom of heaven. I'll share my experience with you. So, when I was young, I was very, very mischievous, okay? At the same time, I was also spiritual. So, my best quality was that every Friday, I could skip my lunch. So, I would do it with one of my friends. So, I kind of had a feeling that the others are not so good because I can fast and pray and they couldn't. So, I would be considered in front of Jesus. And this went on for many years. So, I was very confident and I started developing spiritual pride in me. So even if I did that small mistakes here and there, I thought Jesus would consider. Next, I would go for mass very frequently. So I would keep commenting on others. Oh, they don't go for mass, so they are not that up to the mark. This is the spiritual pride that was developed in me. Also, when it comes to prayer, I could actually kneel down and raise my hands and pray, which at a very young age, many of them couldn't do it. So I was again proud of that. And this went on for a long time. After a few years, I was not able to skip even a single meal. It's like when it's Good Friday, I'm like, oh, I have to fast today. I would get frustrating. I didn't like it. I wanted to avoid any kind of fast. Nor I could kneel down and pray. I was like so lazy. I know the importance of Holy Mass. I know the importance of Holy Eucharist. I know the importance of the communion. But I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. I wouldn't have any interest. And then when it comes to prayer, I couldn't. And I became totally spiritually bankrupt. I came into a phase where I had to ask God, have mercy on me, please allow me to pray the way I would pray before. And during that phase, I realized that none of us are better than anybody else, because whatever we do is because of the grace of Christ. And God had to make me spiritually bankrupt to learn this. My dear friends, I know some of you are very, very spiritual. I know many of my friends who keep fasting and praying, who teach others about Bible, who do a lot of good things, who share a lot, who give alms to the poor and the needy, who go very regularly for mass, who do frequent confessions. But my only suggestion to all of you is, think, who is the one who is in you, who is able to allow you to do all these things? It is the power of Christ that is working in you. So everything, when I started crying and praying to God, it was almost for 1.5 years, I was not able to do all that I was supposed to do before. And then gradually, as I started realizing I need to humble myself in front of God, God restored back all those things that I was not able to do. I could restart my prayer life. I could restart, like once in a while, fasting. I could restart my mass with concentration, with preparation, and I could, even now I feel lazy sometimes for prayer, but I don't need to show off in front of God, because Jesus knows your whole true nature. Some of us are like, I am really lazy, and you'll be like, no, Jesus will be upset, let me pray. But He knows your weaknesses. So it's better to just admit in front of Him and ask the grace. Only when you don't have it, only then you can depend on God. Now, at a point of time, I was a very good dancer. So I was very proud about it. I could win all the competitions. But then gradually I just realized it, that if I became sick one point of my life, I became sick and I was not able to perform the way I was. So I just realized it, that I'm nothing. I can do nothing without Christ, okay? We are like totally handicapped. So my simple message to all those people out there, all of us are good in something. We may be either good in singing, good in dancing, good in convincing people. We may be a perfectionist. But if you are puffed up with the pride in you that you are better than the others, nothing is going to be able to help you enter the kingdom of heaven. Humble yourself in front of the Lord and He will raise you up at His own good time. I learned everything the hard way. It was really difficult for me to accept it. Because when God blesses you, we kind of think it is you who are great, you can do things on your own, but it is not like that. We have to be totally dependent on God. Like I'm a trainer right now, so I go and train. So there are some topics that I'm very confident with. There are some which I'm not. So I keep asking God, please help me. Which I'm confident I may not ask God. And finally what happens? Where the outcome is more is where I depended more on God. So I just realized it. No matter how good you are at something, if you are puffed up with pride, you cannot be poor in spirit. It doesn't mean only for the materialistic things. This means this poor in spirit is for even your spirituality. If you are a faith healer, if you are a preacher, if you are a priest or a nun or anything that you know that you're serving God, there shouldn't be a pride in you that, oh, others are all living a very worldly life. I am the perfect person. If you have that in mind, you may be surprised when you meet Jesus after you die. I'll share a simple example with you to make you understand what I'm trying to say. There was a rich father who had 2 sons, okay? One son was of the mentality, of the thought that my father is anyways rich, so I take his support and I try to stand on my own feet. So he was funded by his father for his training and everything, and he finally assisted his father in his company. He grew in his business and he started his own company with the support of his dad. The other son, he was like, no, I will do it on my own. I have the caliber. So he took a loan to study on his own, and he excelled in his career, okay? And he went for a very good company interview and he was selected, and he was also very happy. One day both the brothers were talking to each other. So this fellow spoke to the other one and said, come on, let's drive my car. Your car? All the things that you've done is all because of your dad's money. Look at my car. This is all hard earned by me. He has that pride because he did it on his own. And the dad heard this conversation. The dad called both the sons together. Dad showed a small letter to this elder son and said, my dear, you're working in this company where I am a shareholder, and I was the one who recommended you, and that's the only reason you got into this job. And when the elder son realized this, he was totally shattered because he was puffed up with pride that he earned everything because of his own capabilities. Many a times, my dear friends, we all have this thing. God silently is blessing us. Silently is behind us. You see, Jesus is with you every time. In your good times, your bad times, you're a doctor, even when you're operating, God is with you. Jesus is beside you. But we think that it is our skill. I'm more competent than the others. I'm a perfectionist. I can do better than the others. If you win a competition, you are like, wow, I was much better. If you're in a company and everybody praises, you said, I have something better than the others. If you are good in organizing things and somebody else is not, you're puffed up with pride and you complain about that person. Rethink, my dear friends. Are you going to enter the kingdom of heaven? Because Jesus has a very simple teaching, and that is, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. We have to be poor in spirit. We have to be a beggar in front of God. I say, I have nothing. I'm totally bankrupt. I cannot pray on my own. I cannot be good on my own. I cannot share on my own. I cannot love my neighbors on my own. I cannot love my enemies. Like Jesus says, it's so easy to listen to it. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. It's not easy. And if you're able to do it, don't be proud about that. It's because God gave you that grace. I hope you've understood this. I am still battling with this. Like tomorrow if somebody says, please Dini, let's go for a prayer, I may not be interested, and then I have to ask God again, please give me the interest to pray, because I'm not interested. I'm just being frank, and all of us are sailing in the same boat. God's never going to compare you with somebody else. Oh, he's doing so many things of God, you're not doing anything. Just because I make these videos, you think I'm having a superior position in heaven than you all? Absolutely not. None of us are superior than the others. God has set a plan of perfection. He's going to compare you with what you were before. And gradually, as you reach to that level of perfection, you will start experiencing the love of Christ. Then you will start enjoying your life. You will experience the peace of Christ. So let us ask God to give us the grace to be spiritually poor. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, I request you all to please share this video with your friends, and also to subscribe if you have not subscribed, and press the like icon if you've liked this video. Bye-bye. See you again.